look, it's squeaky. Hi, I'm RJ and welcome to my Mythos. Come get ready with me while I waffle on about the heroes, gods and monsters of Greek mythology. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about children overthrowing their fathers, a young boy raised by a goat, and a whole lot of vomit. Yeah, today's video is all about Zeus, so I'm going to grab a cup of tea and then we'll get right into it. Okay, you're back in close, the base is on, the glasses are off, the brew is in hand. Today I'm just drinking a Ceylon brand, I can't pronounce that tea. I'm drinking a Ceylon tea from Basilda brand. I think I'm saying that right, I hope I am. It's really nice. Yeah, it's just a general tea, but it's quite a strong tea. Just the way I like it. And I felt like I needed a strong tea to talk about a strong god. It's almost like I planned it. I didn't. It's just tea. Anyway, that's the waffle done with. Let's talk about the gods. So, today, like I said, we're talking about Zeus. Now, I should probably start doing my makeup. Where's my mirror? Found my mirror. So, as I spoke about in a previous Greek mythology video, right in the very beginning, there was Uranus, the sky, and there was Gaia, the earth, and they begat a series of beings called the Titans. I'll move to a bigger mirror. I'm using the Beat Bear Brights palette today. Ironic, because I'm going to do a dark and stormy look. Zeus comes into this story a little bit later, actually. First, you need to know about Kronos. Now, Kronos is the youngest of the male Titan line, and he is a son of Uranus and Gaia, who I've just talked about. Now, Gaia loved her children very much, but Uranus wasn't a huge fan of some of them, because as well as the Titans, Gaia gave birth to a lot of monstrous creatures, which Uranus took against and imprisoned deep in the earth. Gaia was understandably a little bit annoyed at her husband's rejection of their progeny, and she took against him and decided that, well, essentially, Uranus needed to be taken down a peg. And in order to do that, she recruited her youngest son, Kronos. Now, Kronos is the very definition of a bit of a dick. Runs in the family because, as you'll know from previous videos, I also refer to Zeus as a bit of a dick. But Kronos takes the biscuit. He was violent, he was arrogant, and his way of taking his father down a peg or two was to castrate him. Literally cut off his reproductive organs and throw them out across the sea, across the world, and pretty effectively emasculate his father. Which actually even Gaia was a little bit taken aback by. After it happened, Uranus, you know, he continued to exist, obviously gelded, and Gaia essentially withdrew to just existing and just being around, but she didn't really personify anymore. She was just in the background as Mother Earth. Still very revered and still, you know, worshipped, but... Oops. Yeah, still revered, still worshipped, but not really that involved. She became a bit more of an observer than an active deity. And Kronos took over ruling the Titans. Now, Uranus didn't go quietly. With his last words, it's like he died. One of the things he did while in immense pain was to curse his son's lineage. And he screamed out, as his testicles were making their way over Cyprus, that, oh, powder in my eye. As he lay there writhing in agony, Uranus yelled out, "Your own children will overthrow you," which was a huge, huge threat, because no Titan ever wanted to be outdone by anyone, never mind their own children. Of course, Uranus was ignored. Kronos was riding high on having overthrown his father and taken control of the Titans, so he didn't really give a damn about this whole prophecy thing. Until, that is, he started to create children with his sister, Rhea. Rhea is the youngest of the female Titans, just like Kronos was the youngest of the male Titans, and she absolutely adored her brother. She was so pleased when he took over. She was 100% in favour of him ruling the Titans, and she was also so happy when he chose her as his wife. He immediately began the wifely duties expected of her, and she fell pregnant with their first child very quickly. Now, Kronos was initially really excited about this. He wanted the Titans to be strong rulers. But then, at the back of his mind, was his father's prophecy. Your children will overthrow you. And so, when Rhea gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl that she called Hestia, Kronos took the baby in his arms, gave her a loving look, and then swallowed her whole down to his tummy. Yeah, Kronos ate his children. It's the thing you probably all already knew about Kronos. He's famous for it. Yes, he swallowed that baby down like mac and cheese or a peanut butter sandwich with jam and a side helping of Reese's peanut butter cups. I really like peanut butter. Rhea was understandably a little bit upset about this development, but she didn't let it throw her off. She got back on it, got back on the horse, as it were, or the husband, and became pregnant again. And again, she gave birth to a beautiful baby, this time a boy, that she named Hades, passed him over to his father, and once again, Kronos chowed down, swallowed his baby. There's a pattern emerges here. She does this 3 more times. She has a little girl named Demeter, down the gullet. She has a little boy named Poseidon, down the gullet. She has another little girl named Hera, down the gullet. So Kronos has now eaten 5 of his children, and he feels pretty secure in the idea that he's never going to be overthrown because they're in his belly. Now, you might be asking, why on earth does Rhea keep having children if she just knows her husband is going to eat them all? And, well, I think it's probably quite natural, isn't it? She desperately wants a child that her husband is gonna let go and is gonna, you know, let survive. That's a very pale grey. And she's deluded somewhat into thinking that if she just has a good enough child, maybe Kronos won't eat them. But this possibility obviously gets less and less. This belief gets less and less the more she has children. And eventually she does start to resent her husband for continually impregnating her and then not letting her have the child. And again, she falls pregnant, and this time she begs her husband, just let me keep this one. Let me have this one. And of course, Kronos merely laughs. And the inevitable happens. She has the child. She names him Zeus. She hands over the swaddled package to her husband, and down the gullet. Dramatic. But something's different this time. Rhea isn't upset this time because she's managed to trick her husband. You see, Zeus wasn't actually swaddled in that blanket this time, because Rhea had started planning the moment she realised that she was pregnant. And Zeus has been spirited away to Crete, where he's been looked after by a she-goat named Amalthea, or Amalthea. I'm not 100% on pronunciations here. Now, Amalthea the she-goat raises Zeus in secret. Kronos has no idea that he exists, and Rhea, at this stage, announces that she's never going to sleep with her husband again. She's not having another pregnancy taken away from her. So Kronos isn't happy about not getting his end away, but he understands, and he demands that the rest of the Titans continue to procreate and carry on spreading the Titan genealogy across the world, which they do. There's a lot of Titans born in this time. And while all this is going on, Zeus is growing from a baby to a child, and Amalthea is raising him. She's raising him to be strong, to be well thought of among the Meliae, who are the ash tree nymphs who live on Crete and are also helping raise the god boy. And they're doing a damn good job, because one day Zeus, with a bit of roughhousing, snaps off one of Amalthea's horns. Remember, she's a goat. And he feels bad about it, and in recompense, to make things better, he decides to use that horn to create, what's it called? It's that thing in the Hunger Games. Cornucopia. He uses the horn to create a cornucopia, which forever flows with food and resources, and just means that the Meliae on Crete have a really nice, easy life. So not only is he strong, he's generous, he's a good leader, and he's shaping up to be everything that his mother could ever hope he would be. Aw, isn't that nice? Switch into the Beauty Bay Book of Shadows palette. Now, eventually, Zeus grows into a fine, strong young man. Got blue all over my cheek. Reaches the age of 17 and is declared a man, and his mother comes to see him and announces that he's going to go and overthrow his father now. Zeus is visited by his mother, who's been seeing him all this time and been updating him on what she expects of him as he grows older, telling him stories of his father to really G things up. And so Zeus is ready. He turns 17 and he is down for going to sort out his father. And he does. So he does this with the help of his mother, obviously, but also a nymph named Metis, which, if you know anything about future Greek mythology history, Can you hear that siren? Rude. Anyway, if you know anything about Greek mythology, you'll know that Metis is the future mother of Athena. This is where they mate. Mate? No, this is where they meet. They mate at the wedding. See my Greek God 101 for that story. Yeah, so this is where they meet, and Metis is responsible for creating an emetic for Zeus to give to his father. Now, an emetic is something that makes you violently ill, and it causes you to vomit, which is the plan. So Rhea takes her son back to Olympus, where the Titans are living. I believe it's Olympus. I'm going to have to fact check that. I'll put something in here. She takes him back to where the Titans are and presents him to Kronos as a cupbearer. And Kronos looks at Zeus, thinks, oh yeah, here's a nice strong boy. Quite happy to have him around the palace. And so he takes in Zeus without nary a question about the fact that the wife who's avoided him for so long has suddenly decided to bring him this fantastic gift. Which, you know, you think you'd be a bit more suspicious about it, wouldn't you? But then again, remember, he thinks that he has eaten all of his children. So, I suppose why would he be suspicious? He has nothing to fear. He thinks that he's essentially immortal because he's been clever and he's basically essentially usurped his father's prophecy by getting rid of his progeny. Ha ha ha. That's going to come back to bite him in the butt. So Rhea shuffles forward Zeus with a cup. Zeus bows to the Titan and hands over the drink that he's prepared specially for him. And Kronos takes a mighty gulp, smacks his lip, and compliments the boy on an excellent choice of beverage. Until he starts to feel so incredibly ill. Like, ridiculously 5 tequila shots, 2 absinthes, and a lot of beer. Sick. So of course the emetic is starting to take effect, and Kronos just hurls everywhere. Literally pukes his guts up. And what's in Kronos' guts? The other gods. So up comes Hera, up comes Poseidon, up comes, who came next? Demeter. Up comes Demeter, up comes Hades, and up comes Hestia. And because gods are immortal, and a little bit of being swallowed for 17 plus years isn't going to affect them, they're all fully grown humans, well, fully grown gods, fully grown humanoids. And they are pissed. As you would be, after having spent all of your developmental years crushed in someone's stomach. And so, they're ready to fight. Now Zeus, of course, as soon as Kronos started throwing up, revealed himself to be his son. Probably said some incredible smackdown fighting words. and declared himself the new ruler. There's a lot of fighting, because even though Cronus was a very, very strict ruler and not a nice person, he did still have the support of the Titans. So there are a lot of them ready to fight on his side. And it looks for a while like Zeus and his siblings aren't going to win. It looks like it might all have been for nothing. Until they remember the creatures that Gaia begat way back when, who are trapped in the earth. Now these characters are the Cyclopses, giants with one eye, and they are the Hecatoncheires, who are beings with 100 hands, which has got to come in handy when you're fighting against 100 beings, right? So Zeus goes and frees these creatures, which gains him the approval of Gaia as well, even though she doesn't really get involved. Now, with the addition of the Hecatoncheires and the Cyclopses, this turns the steed, Now, with the addition of the Cyclopses and the Hecatoncheires, this turns the tide of the war. Also, some of the Titans actually defect to the gods' side, and this includes the Titan Prometheus, who is very, very famous and whose story I will tell in another video, I'm sure, at some point. But these extra additions mean that Zeus and his siblings eventually overthrow the Titans, who are either punished or bow down to the rule of these new gods. Right, I'm just gonna... There's not much of this story left that I want to tell today, so I'm just gonna very quickly fast forward through my makeup. Give me a minute. Okay, so just add a bit of contour and highlight. I kind of think my face might just look a bit muddy. There's definitely a bit of my hairline there that doesn't want to blend into anything, so that's fun. As I said, not a professional makeup artist. Anyway, so of course I left you off with the Titans bowing before their new rulers, which, you know, sounds like a good end, doesn't it? Zeus splits out dominion of the world between his siblings, and the rest is Greek mythology. Zeus, of course, taking on the thunderbolt as his primary weapon, which, thanks to his freeing of the Hecatoncheires, they continue to make for him. After having crafted the thunderbolt during the Titanomachy, and it helping essentially turn the tide of the war in the gods' favour. So there you have it. That's the story of Zeus and the Titanomachy. Afterwards, he did let his father live, because Zeus, despite being a bit of a dick, as I previously said, he is actually a very fair ruler, and he didn't think his father deserved to die. What he did do, however, was set him an impossible task. He set him up counting the number of seconds that passed, essentially. So he had to count every single second in the life of the world, which is where we get our definition of chronos, meaning time. So that little second hand going around on your watch, if any of you still have analog watches, that is a representation of chronos, counting the seconds till the end of the world. Which is very dark when you think about it. A little bit creepy. And in a way, you can also say that Chronos is the last surviving personoid of Greek mythology, because we don't worship, we don't worship Zeus anymore, not officially. But we do still find ourselves very beholden to time. Deep philosophical thoughts. Anyway, look at my face. I am quite pleased with this. Look at all the lightning. Ah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, you know what I need? I need something on my lips. Hang on. That's better. Just giving my lips a little bit of a sparkle. Yeah, I like this look. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you think of the story today. And let me know if there are any other Greek mythology stories that you would like me to tell. Whether they're related to the fuckings of Zeus or whether they're different characters in Greek mythology. I'm planning to talk about some more of the major gods in my next video, which hopefully will be out maybe within a month of this one, hopefully. I'll also be doing my usual glossy box unboxings at the beginning of the months, based on whenever they turn up. So if any of that sounds like something you would like, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop me a like while you're down there, it really is appreciated, and I hope to see you back in my Mythos soon. Bye! Powder in my eye, ow, that really hurts. Eyeshadow on the outside, RJ, not on the eyeball, ow.